Say some things that might be usable for the intro. Let's do that.
Intro. Say the podcast name. Say our names. And then share what we think it is.
Welcome to It's Happening for You.
For you. This is It's Happening for You, the podcast with Robin Meharry
Harry, I couldn't remember how to say it again.
and
Stephanie Lentini. We love you.
love you. And then the music begins.
It's funny because I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're just going to talk about like some details today because I have so much like I'm eager to talk about and share with you of things that have been developing sort of almost through contrast too. And like coming back to it's happening for me. That contrast truly is happening for me to show me so many things, but show me what I am wanting.
Yeah.
And also, it's happening for me to show me where I can still continue to clean up my vibration on this topic, or I can line up even more with what vibration I am wanting to be emanating.
Yes.
Etc. And there's been just like different experiences going on where I'm just like, oh my, like, oh, and I feel like sort of how Abraham says, like, step 5, where like there's contrast, and for a moment I'm experiencing or feeling negative emotion about it, but then like pretty quickly I'm able to be like, oh no, this is like really good. Like there's so much value in this for me.
Yeah. Yep. Yes. You know, it's like interesting when you say that, like the phase that I feel like I've moved into is a bit of when I feel those contrasting moments, right? Those lower vibrations. I don't even like labeling it that way, but you know, like these more uncomfortable emotions or feelings, I'm able to recognize that they're just old habits. Like just silly old habits. And I actually just don't even give them like more exactly what you were just saying. Like I don't give them weight. Like I don't give them focus. I just am like, oh, funny. Okay. I just went into an old silly pattern.
Yes.
Okay. Like where am I today? Who, you know, what is my focus today? What is my intention today?
Yes.
And it switches it so quickly. I think in the past, it was always for me, I'll speak for myself, like kind of like, well, why am I thinking that? And like going into it and trying to figure it out and process it. And what else do I have to release and let go of? And it's like, no, it could be as simple as recognizing it, observing it, just being the observer of it and not getting entangled with it. You know, and then coming back to the now moment and choosing again.
Yes, exactly. It's like that's exactly what I meant by where I still have some stuff to clean up with my vibration. It's not like there's work or there's deep dive of inquiry.
Yeah.
It's more like the awareness that there's still some of this left behind, and now I can release it.
And isn't that feels so good? Like that feels so much easier. Like I just feel like, and this is why I shy away from using the word work around this, because like I really don't think it needs to be work.
Yes.
I think that was actually a mindset and a belief system I was in
Yes.
for a long time. Then now I'm like, oh wait, that of course I created that as my reality of feeling like it was work, that I had to like really work and heal myself.
Yes.
But that's actually where I am sitting now today, is like there is nothing to be healed. We are whole and complete
we're
and
already
perfect.
we're already perfect, and anything that we any belief that we're having or thought that we're having that like seems opposite to that is just like you're saying, it's an old habit.
That's it.
That we can just be like, oh, I don't like that habit.
Yeah. And just, it's just silly, you know, like
what's the like, I can get rid of that now.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
That's
silly.
so cool.
I have had the experience today though of like feeling a particular emotion and really quickly wanting, like, feeling betrayed, feeling hurt,
Mm.
feeling left out, and wanting to get to use like Abrahamism, like get to the other side of the stick really quickly. Like, I know better than
Mm.
this. Like, how can I find the ways that this is really working out in my favor? How is this actually in line with my desires? And I'm able to find a lot of evidence for that. But it did feel like almost me trying to jump too quick too soon to that. And I had to like take a few moments. I chose to take a few moments because it kept coming back and coming, that I was like, I'm just going to let myself feel this way for a moment. Like, this is just a thought and just a feeling too. Nothing's gone wrong that I'm experiencing it. I can allow myself to feel it just like I allow myself to feel other feelings.
Yes.
And um that's okay. You know, just giving myself that
Yep.
permission to like just be there for a moment and not need to be somewhere else so quickly. Like, oh no, you cannot feel like that, Stephanie. You're
Yes.
better than that, you know?
Totally. Oh my
Just
God. And that's, I think, for me, why I love like the inner child kind of, or that
yes.
like demonstration, because there's nothing wrong feeling that way.
Yeah.
And it's about becoming aware and the observer of it and not entangled in
Yes.
it. And it's, for me, I have found it the easiest way for me to like comprehend it and like feel
Mhm.
it and not judge it is by imagining that it's just a younger version of myself,
Yeah.
a child feeling this way. And what would I do? I would listen to that child, let them feel it
Yeah.
fully, and then just give them so much love and compassion.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I do feel like that's so important to do.
I do too. And I feel like to some it seems intuitive, like, you
Yeah.
know, even to myself. At
Yes.
times I'm like,
Same.
no, no,
Yeah.
no. No,
I
no,
don't need to do that.
you're not supposed to feel like that. You're not supposed to feel hurt. Come on,
Yes.
Stephanie.
Yes.
How are you wanting to feel? You want to feel loved and connected and special. Okay, then feel that way, you know, but I had to like actually throw a little fit for a second, and I
Yes.
let myself finally just like kind of repeat the words like through my head, just like and it is a little stomp around. I didn't actually stomp, but I just felt like a pouty child for a moment, and then I felt a lot better. I actually like received um like almost an even more thorough way forward, you
Yes.
know, which feels really good. Maybe at some point I'll the details will, but I don't feel like they're actually necessary. It's just the process of like moving through um what appears to be unwanted situations, allowing the space and time for you to move through all of the sort of whatever
Hmm.
gradual movement of that, and then always at the end of the day come back to like, it is happening for me. This is
Yeah.
really is everything I'm wanting. I just in this moment,
Mm.
you know, doesn't quite feel that way or something.
Yes. Gosh,
Ah,
that just like, I mean, even just hearing you say it that way makes me emotional because it's like, I don't know, it just rings so true to me, you know?
mhm.
Like that, just that line you just said of like, even if this feels unwanted in this moment, I know that this is happening for me. And it's just like, I could cry, literally. That's how deeply I know that's true,
Yeah.
you know? And the thing that was kind of coming through as you were speaking, I just kept hearing like integrating all parts of us.
Mhm.
And that means not poo-pooing or pushing any part of us aside. It's
Exactly.
integrating all of it. And
Mhm.
that's all dimensions. We're multidimensional beings
Mhm.
that will be, feeling in different consciousness levels. And it's integrating all of that with just love and compassion.
Mhm. It is, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
It
to,
It's just
Talk
been
about it's happening for
amazing
you.
because as I've been playing with the marketing materials more and really getting excited about launching, um, I've been thinking more about what it is to us, and what the title means, you
Yeah.
know? And it's funny because as I've been pondering it, experiences in my life have been occurring to teach me even more of what it means. And like, that's so profound
So profound. So
that
profound.
my life experiences are happening for me to understand what the phrase "it's happening for me" means in
Mm.
a felt way, in a bigger way. Like, what the
Yep.
fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You literally can't like make it up
No.
how much the universe is conspiring to like literally give us everything we want,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know?
And that's how much of a master you are. You
Yes, that's,
are
that's one where I'm like, okay, don't make it about me, Robin.
No, 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 it's everyone. But I mean,
It's possible for everyone, but
yes.
yes,
Yes.
I mean,
We
that's a
all
cool knowledge too.
yeah, we all are masters and you are just demonstrating that perfectly.
My leg is stuck.
Oh, I thought you were going to pull it up behind your head. Hella flexible.
No, not yet.
Not yet. She's becoming.
But so we're like in the process of moving into this new house.
Yes. Wait, is that okay? I wanted to thank you. I've been wanting to ask this. So is that house still in Vegas, or is that in
Yes,
Colorado?
it's in Vegas.
So, but aren't you moving to Colorado soon as well?
Yeah, okay. Do you remember when we had I'm really excited to talk about this on Wednesday,
Okay.
and I'm sure there will be more developments by that
Oh,
time.
cool. Okay.
Or maybe we'll use what I'm about to say right now. But do you
Yeah.
remember when I talked to you a few weeks ago about not the podcast, sorry, the Facebook post that I wrote about wanting a house?
Yes.
And it was that prompt. If there was one thing I wanted you to know, it's this. The only
Right.
reason you want something is because of the feeling you think you'll have or you'll get in the having of it.
Yes.
And I gave a personal example of wanting to live in a house full
Yes.
time year round. And then I kind of extracted the feelings that I thought I'd have from that
Getting that.
experience. Yes. And use that as an example for the post. And when you and I spoke about it, I told you I wanted to make an amendment to that and say, and also there's nothing wrong with you having the desires that you have. Continue having your desires. Those are important and they summon life force through you.
Correct. Yes.
But allow yourself to become a vibrational match to them by feeling the feelings now, and allow those things to come to you instead of using effort to go out and get them.
Correct. Yes.
That was a great synopsis.
Yeah. It really was. We're going to edit that. That was a great clip.
I love when we're just thinking about clips now all the time.
I know,
like,
I
oh,
know.
great clip, great clip.
Get that.
Okay, so
Yes,
I wrote
awesome.
this post, and I wrote it for me. It was so amazing because it's been more in my awareness of what my desire is.
Yep.
Especially as we've been talking about moving to Colorado, I noticed some focus on what I wasn't wanting. Like, oh, I don't really want to move back in the van. I don't really want to have to take calls from the van from my hotspot.
Yeah.
And as I was aware of what I wasn't wanting, I started going, well, what is it that I'm wanting?
Yeah.
And as I asked myself that question, one of the things that became clear to me was that I want a place that we stay in year round. And Vegas makes most sense because we spend more months here than in Colorado. We spend about 8 to 9 months here and only 3 or 4 in Colorado.
Just the summer months in Colorado.
Exactly.
Okay. Yep.
As well, Thomas is creating new opportunities for himself here in Vegas that could be more year-round work.
Oh, cool. Great.
And we like Vegas. We wouldn't want to live in Colorado because it's so cold and snowy. So if we were going to choose just between the two of these, it would be Vegas because we prefer dry and warmer climate over cold and snowy climate. So anyway, I've been like, oh my gosh, I started thinking I want to get a house like and sign a year lease when we get back from Colorado.
Yes.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, what if I like made that dream even bigger and I was like, I want it before we go to Colorado?
Oh my gosh.
What if I didn't go to Colorado? Or what if when I went to Colorado, it was completely by my choice of how long I went for, and I always had somewhere to come back to?
A home base, the thing that we've been talking about. Yes.
Okay. And then I was still massaging these desires and I thought, oh my gosh, I already have a place to store all my things. We have a storage unit here. Because I was thinking we had to move everything into the van and we have so much here now at Michelle's that like, I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds so overwhelming. I'm like, we got a storage unit. So I have a place. I have a home base. So I was already feeling like I had a home base.
Cool.
Oh, I've got this place that can contain all my things. And then David, the guy who we usually would park in his backyard in our van.
Yep.
He lives out just outside of Las Vegas in a place called Blue Diamond. He was like, buy a tiny home and put it on my property. I would be happy for you to put a tiny home on my property. He has a lot of land behind his house. Not a ton of land, but he has enough space to put a shed or whatever we want to live in. And so I was like, okay, that's cool. That feels like driftwood in that it's not like a hell yes, but it's like, oh, we just went from having a storage unit to having land. Like in like a matter of days, he made that offer to Thomas.
Wow.
So I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Felt into the pleasure of that. Then Thomas asked David, what about that garage apartment that's 2 lots down from you? Like, what's she doing with that place? And we saw this garage apartment get built from the ground up because we've been living in the backyard of David.
Yes.
And she lives 2 houses down.
Oh my
and
gosh.
we've always been curious about it. So David just went and talked to her one day and she said, yeah, I want to rent it out.
Stop.
And so this keeps getting better.
Oh, I love it.
So David's like, well, I know a great couple and I would highly recommend them to move into your place. And she was like, that sounds great. It was so easy, Robin. And David calls us and he's like, you guys shouldn't sleep on this. Like, come meet her as soon as possible. And, you know, I'm like easing discomfort with like urgency and anything like any sort of shortage or scarcity, but it felt good to go and meet her. And so within 2 days of him talking to her, we were there in the afternoon, just knocked on her door with him. And she's just hanging out. And she's like, sure, great, good to meet you. Do you know these people who live in the neighborhood? And we're like, yes, we know them. She's like, I love them. If they like you, I like you. Do you want to see the apartment? So we go and we see the apartment. Okay, so we look at the place and she's walking us around. It's 2-bedroom, 1 bath, open floor plan. It's on top of a garage. It's a brand new build. No one's ever lived in it. It's not fully complete, but it's like 95% complete. Like needs hardware on the cabinets, needs whatever.
Yeah.
The hot water heater turned on.
You're right.
Ready to go. It smells like the hardwood floors were just taken out of the package.
Yeah, it's brand new. I love that.
And
smell.
it has like a huge deck off of it that looks at the mountains. It's beautiful.
Stop.
And she goes, well, I'll give you guys time to think about it, but if you want it, it's yours. This was the day we met her. And I was like, we want it. I literally just like, it just fell out of my mouth. I was like, yes, we'll take it. And we all chuckled because it was just so, you know,
easy, effortless, perfect.
And this is like the beginning of the story, Robin, because now that it's in my field of possibility, doubts have still been arising and I've been soothing them. I've been like, I'm staying out of it because I can feel my wobbles. So I'm Thomas, it's in your court. Let me know if there's something specific you need me to do. I'm just going to allow it to continue to unfold without my participation. You know what he's doing there today? He's there and he's planting trees and fixing her irrigation system and all this stuff. And I told him, you know what? I'm not going to go with you because I have things I want to do today instead. And like
Perfect.
just allowing myself to only
Oh my
interact
God.
with that as I feel inspired, and allowing
Mm.
the doubts that I can have it, that it can be easy, that I can afford it, you know, because we're
Yes.
moving from van to, you know, like
Yeah,
all of these
yeah.
things. I mean, there is a very, I don't know the word I'm looking for, strong possibility that for the beginning amount of time, we might not be paying rent at all. That we're just going to exchange like some
Yeah,
time and like
yeah, helping her
working
out
on
on
her
the house.
yard and stuff
Wow.
for the,
Wow.
like there are just so many details about it, and it's a
Wow.
continual process, you know, and I'm just like
Yeah.
releasing and releasing and soothing and feeling into my desire, and then like detaching from it, you know, and like, oh, the reason I started even telling you about this is because I wanted to say all of that to get to this point. I went over on Friday by myself, um, to just say what's up to Jean, and there were some details, some things I wanted to ask her about. Oh, I wanted to take measurements of all the rooms and also take notes of like what still needed to be done.
No, smart.
And so
Yeah.
it's the first time I had seen Jean since I met her. I hadn't been back in a week, and I just wanted to connect. And she had a birthday last week, so I brought her tulips and carrot cake muffins
Oh, how
for her
cute.
birthday. And we chatted for a while, and then I went and I took all these notes about what needed to be done. And I was driving home and I was like, oh my God, there's so much that needs to be done.
Oh.
Like feeling overwhelmed.
Yep.
It feels like it's going to be hard work to get everything ready and move in. And I heard myself say that, and I thought, what would I like it to be?
Mm.
And I just thought, oh no, I want it to be easy. It can
Mhm.
be this, and all of these things can be
Boom, boom,
accomplished,
boom. Yep.
but I want it to be easy.
Mhm.
And it's been easy so far, and it will continue to be, just with my attention to and focus on it being easy, not making myself then all of a sudden start putting tremendous effort in. And
Yes.
so I've just been like, okay,
Love it.
those things will be done, and I may or may not participate in them. You know,
Yep.
I'll know what is for mine to participate in based on whether it's lighting, like when it lights up for me.
Yep.
And the
Yep.
rest isn't my job. And it
Nope.
doesn't have to be hard work.
Mm-mm.
And Thomas
Mm.
might tell you, oh, yeah, that's easy for you to say. I'm the one doing the yard work, but he wants to be.
Exactly.
He is like, yesterday when we left, we went in the evening for him to dig holes. And he said, he turned to me and he goes, he was like just really ponderous, like thoughtful. He was very quiet when we left. And he just turns to me and goes, I love fixing things.
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
And I was like,
Exactly.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I was like, even though this might feel like, oh, what did I get myself into? You'd rather be doing nothing else
Yes.
than working on some lady's yard in Blue Diamond and solving
Yes.
these problems that are, you know, kind of like, what? How did that happen? Like,
Yeah.
this is what you want to be doing with your day off.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. That's exactly when you said like Thomas is over there right now working in the yard. I was like, oh, he's at his happy place.
He is in his happy place. And he
Like,
hired a guy. He met this guy, Juan, at Star Nursery this morning. He had the intention of finding someone to help him for the day. And he like drove him out. He met him at the nursery, his first stop of the morning.
I love it.
And they drive out there together. And he called me at like 11, and they had been working for a few hours, but he had to go pick up some supplies. And he was like, I'm getting lunch for Juan and I'll probably drop him off at the end of the day. I'll probably get him dinner too. Like,
Oh
and
my
he's just
God.
like in his element.
Yes, totally. So it's like there's no reason for you to feel like guilt or anything.
No,
Like,
and I was considering going over there with him today and like testing the Wi-Fi, and I could just feel the like upstreamness of it. Like it's just
Yeah.
not what I wanted to do. And so this morning I just rolled over and I was like, hey babe, I'm not gonna go with you. And he was like, all right. I was like,
perfect.
thank you. Like
Easy. I love that. I love it.
oh,
Mm.
that feels so good to tell this story, and it will continue to unfold. And
Wow.
I'm eager to bring you along with me.
Yes. Yes. And the magic of that. I love what you said though about like how I forget exactly the words that you used, but it was basically the concept of like now that you know that this is possible and you brought it into your awareness, there was like just more that unfolded from that, even
Mhm.
more possibilities. It's just
Mhm.
it's so cool because it can be that simple of
Mhm.
like if we just allow that to be a possibility in our
Yes.
awareness, then magic flows in.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like there have been a few times where I'm just like, "Oh, if I could have that, like what else might I want?" You know,
Yes.
or like,
Yes.
"Oh, could I have it like in May instead of October?" You know? And
Yes,
just opening
exactly.
to that like I'm
Why
not
can't that be a possibility? Like, why
anything's
shut it
possible.
down? Yeah,
I'm and I
exactly.
and there was also like this sense of like there's nothing for me to do.
Exactly.
You know, like I did not go looking for a place. I just knew it would come to me.
And it did effortlessly.
Yes.
That is such a magical story. And like either we can take this off of
We'll
what,
take it. We'll use it
yeah,
somewhere.
we'll use it and we'll expand on it. But like, I feel like we probably through the edits, of like us talking business stuff, but then
We
talking
had a
about life.
whole
We
podcast
had
episode
yes,
today. I know.
exactly.
It's great. It's great. I was just
So,
thinking that. You read
yeah.
my mind all the time.
I know. We literally say the thing that we're both thinking.
Yeah.
Like, it's so great. Thanks for listening. You can visit us at www.itshappeningforyou.com for more information about upcoming episodes and previous episodes and just learn more about us. Here we go.
And a 3, and a 2, and a 1, and a welcome to right?
It's
But
happening.
let's start from the beginning.
It's Happening For You podcast with Robin Meharry
And Stephanie Lentini, the podcast about mastering the creation process and living a life of extraordinary possibilities.
Join us as we just talk every week and chat and share.
Have way too much fun. We love you.
We love you.
Thank you for being here with us.
And the beat drops.
And the beat drops.